From ancient curses to haunted houses, here are 10 times history repeated itself in creepy ways. Number 10. The Ghosts of Pompeii. Pompeii was a Roman city near Mount Vesuvius that was destroyed by a volcanic eruption in 79 AD. The city was buried under 20 feet of ash and pumice, killing thousands of people. What makes this story so creepy is that nearly 2,000 years later, a group of archaeologists discovered a set of skeletons in a courtyard that seemed to have been frozen in time. The skeletons were found in such lifelike positions that it was hard to believe that they had been dead for so long. It was almost like they were just taking a break and would come back to life at any moment. One skeleton was even found with its finger raised as if it had been reaching for something. Another was found with its legs apart as if it had been dancing. Some of the skeletons were also found holding hands, suggesting that they may have been couples who were trying to escape the eruption together. In 1830, a group of Italian scientists decided to investigate the strange behavior of some farm animals. They noticed that the animals were acting erratically, such as by refusing to eat or drink or by attacking each other without provocation. As the scientists observed the animals, they began to notice other strange things happening around them. For example, plants were withering and dying, and the local townspeople were coming down with strange illnesses. The scientists eventually realized that the farm animals were actually cursed. The curse had been placed on the animals by a local witch, who was angry at the farmers for not paying her for her services. The witch had used a voodoo doll to place the curse, and each time someone touched the doll, the curse became stronger. The only way to break the curse was to find the witch and convince her to lift it. However, before they could do this, one of the scientists accidentally pricked his finger on the doll, and the curse transferred to him. He became violently ill and died shortly after. This is a scary story that shows how powerful curses can be. It also highlights the dangers of messing with things that we don't understand. No. 8. The Curse of the Pharaohs. In 1872, a British explorer named Howard Carter began excavating the tomb of the pharaoh. The tomb had been sealed for over 3,000 years, and when Carter opened it, he unleashed a curse that had been placed on anyone who disturbed the pharaoh's eternal rest. Within a few weeks of the discovery, Carter's team began to experience strange and unexplainable phenomena. For example, one of the excavators suddenly became very ill and died shortly after. Another person involved in the dig also died unexpectedly. Soon, rumors began to spread that the curse was real and that anyone who had anything to do with the excavation would be doomed. Ancient Greece was home to many famous philosophers, but one of the most famous was Aristotle. Aristotle was born in 384 BC and died in 322 BC. He was a student of Plato and was tutor Alexander the Great. Aristotle was a prolific writer, and his works covered a wide range of topics from physics to ethics. One of Aristotle's most famous quotes is, "The whole secret of existence lies in a fine continuous adjustment between chance and necessity." This quote has been interpreted in many different ways, but one of the most interesting interpretations is that our lives are shaped by both luck and fate. We have no control over the cards that we're dealt, but we do have control over how we play our hand. Number 6. The Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel is a famous biblical story about the origin of language. According to the story, the people of the world were all gathered together in one place, and they all spoke the same language. They decided to build a tower so tall that it would reach the heavens. God saw what they were doing and was angry, so he confused their languages so that they could understand each other, and he scattered them across the earth. This story is often used to explain why there are so many different languages in the world today, but it can also be read as a cautionary tale about the dangers of human arrogance. The people in the story wanted to build a tower to reach the heavens. They thought that they were better than everyone else, and that they deserved to be closer to God. But God punished them for their arrogance and scattered them across the earth. This story is a reminder that we should be humble and not let our pride get the better of us. Number 5. The Curse of the Hope Diamond. The Hope Diamond is one of the most famous diamonds in the world. It is a 45.52 carat blue diamond that is currently owned by the Smithsonian Institution. The diamond is said to be cursed, and those who possess it will suffer bad luck. The curse is said to have originated with the diamond's first owner, Jean-Baptiste Tavernier acquired the diamond in India in the 1600s and smuggled it out of the country. He was eventually caught and executed for his crime. Since then, the diamond has changed hands many times, and each time it seems to bring misfortune to its owner. For example, in 1852, the diamond was purchased by American businessman Henry Lovejoy. Soon lost his fortune and died. In 1911, the diamond was stolen from the vault of the French firm that owned it, and in 1948, the diamond was purchased by Harry Winston, a wealthy jeweler. Winston became depressed and eventually committed suicide. These are just a few examples of the bad luck that has supposedly befallen the owners of the Hope Diamond. Whether or not the curse is real, it makes for a fun story. 4. The Lost Colony of Roanoke. In 1585, a group of English settlers arrived in North America with the goal of establishing a colony. The settlers landed in what is now North Carolina, but they soon realized that the area was not suitable for farming, so they moved to an island in the middle of a lake. The settlers built homes and started families, but they struggled to make enough food to survive. In 1590, when the supply ship arrived, It found that the colony had been abandoned. All that was left behind was a single word carved into a tree. This was the first European settlement in North America, and its disappearance was a mystery that has never been solved. There are many theories about what happened to the settlers, but we may never know for sure. This mystery has inspired books, films, and TV shows over the years, and it remains one of the most famous unsolved mysteries in American history. 3. The Monkey's Paw. The Monkey's Paw is a horror short story, written by W. Jacobs and published in 1902. The story follows the White family who are visited by 3 mysterious men who tell them that they have something that belongs to the monkey's paw. The men say that the paw is magical and can grant its possessor 3 wishes, but they warn that each wish comes with a terrible price. Despite the warning, Mr. White uses the paw to make a wish for money. His wish is granted, but it comes with the terrible price of his son's life. The story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed and the importance of being careful what you wish for. The Monkey's Paw has been adapted numerous times for film and television, and the original story is still widely anthologized in horror literature. 2. The Ghost Ship. On January 18, 1859, the captain of the Mary Celeste was last seen leaving New York Harbor aboard his brigantine ship laden with cargo. It was expected to arrive in Genoa, Italy, within a couple months, but nobody heard from the ship. When it didn't arrive, people assumed that it had simply sunk at sea. Then 2 months later, the ship was found adrift off the Azores Islands with no crew on board. The ship was in good condition, but there was no sign of the crew anywhere. The only clues as to what happened to the crew were a lifeboat that was missing from the ship and an open hatch leading into the gunpowder room. This suggests that the crew may have been trying to flee from danger when they realized that the ship was in trouble. This mystery has never been solved, but there are many theories as to what happened to the crew. One theory is that they were all killed by pirates. Another theory is that they were all killed by a disease. Yet another theory is that they were all killed by each other. This is because there were only 2 weeks' worth of food on the ship when it was found, which suggests that the crew may have resorted to cannibalism in order to survive. This gruesome theory is supported by the fact that one of the ship's cannons was missing, which could have been used to defend the ship against pirates. Unfortunately, we may never know what really happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste. One of the most famous haunted houses in the world is the Tower of London. The tower is a historic castle that dates back to 1066. It has been used as a royal palace, a prison, and a torture chamber. Over the centuries, many people have died inside the tower walls, and it is said that their ghosts still linger there. One of the most famous ghosts is that of She was the second wife of Henry VIII, and she was executed in 1536. Her ghost is said to appear in the tower and to walk the ramparts at night. Another famous ghost is that of Lady Jane Grey. She was a teenager when she was forced to become Queen of England in 1553. She was deposed 9 days later, and she died in the tower in 1554. Her ghost is said to appear in the chapel and to weep for her lost crown. There are many other ghosts that are said to haunt the tower, including 2 small children who are said to appear in the moat. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more historical tales.